Shalom, friends. I am your friend Jojo with another word of encouragement for you. So, we are in the season where we do a lot of introspection in order to prepare for the new year, Yom Teruah, also known as Rosh Hashanah. Now, Vayikra 23 reminds us of these special moments, these set apart times that Hashem has created for us to be united with Him. And so Yom Teruah is fast approaching, but guess what? We need to know what it is all about so that we are able to prepare to observe such an awesome time. Now, there are many words or phrases that are used to describe this special day, this special time, and one of such is the day of breathing. The day of breathing. What does that mean? Now, if we go back to Beresheit, Genesis 2 verse 7, it says, Then Adonai, God, formed a person from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life so that he became a living being. Now, Adonai represents the covenant-keeping God, the one who swears by himself, the one who exists, the one who performs whatever he says. So he is the one who created man, right? Who breathed into man his divine breath, man became alive. Now, teruah, the Hebrew word teruah, is made up of 5 Hebrew letters. Teruah speaks to sounding an alarm, right? And the Hebrew letters that makes up this word, Tav, Resh, Vav, Ayin, and He. So there are 5 Hebrew letters that makes up this word, teruah. Now 5 speaks to breath or revealing. So as it relates to Beresheit 2 verse 7, when God breathed into man, he was revealing himself to man so that man could reveal the divine image and likeness in the earth. Now, each letter in Hebrew represents something. So the first letter for the word teruah, which is a tav, represents covenant. The second letter, a resh, represents head. Vav represents man. Ayin represents vision. And he represents reveal. So what can we get? What insight can we get from this word teruah? The head, who is God, who is Adonai, is in covenant with man, and he gives man a vision to reveal. Now, the fact that God breathed into man, it means that man should breathe into the earth. Should breathe, meaning release the image and the likeness of God in the earth. Now, can you imagine God only forming man from the dust and not placing himself, his breath in man? Then definitely we know man would not have life. Man would not have substance. There wouldn't be any divine essence in man. And so it is very important for us to understand what breathing means, what it means when God breathed, when Adonai rather breathed into man. Now, there's a morning prayer known as Modeh or Moda Ani, and it says, I give thanks before you, King, living and eternal, for you have returned within me my soul with compassion. Abundant is your faithfulness. So I woke up this morning, and the first thing came to mind is that God restored my soul. It means that I am alive, I am breathing. And then automatically I remember Beresheit, Genesis 2 verse 7, that it is God who placed his divine breath in me. So the very fact that he returned within me my soul, it means that he's reminding me of Beresheit 2 verse 7, the day when he formed man, the day when he placed his divine breath into man. Now, what is that telling us? That we are here for a purpose. The very fact that we are alive, the very fact that we can inhale and exhale, means that God was intentional and continues to be intentional with us. Because guess what? He desires us to be fruitful. He loves us excessively and wants us to release His breath, His praise, His sound in the earth. Right? He wants us, with the very breath that He has placed in us, to impact the nations for His glory. Now, the breath of God is seen as an alarm system, God's alarm system. Why would I say that? Because when you think of an alarm, so when you set an alarm, you are setting the alarm to remind you of something you need to do. Now, God's breath is our alarm. Why? Because it reminds us of Beresheit, Genesis 2 verse 7, that guess what? We must be intentional because God has placed His breath in us for us to be functional, so for us to be active in purpose. Now the question is, since God has returned His breath to you, how active are you in your purpose? How active are you in releasing His image and His likeness in the earth? How active are you? Now, the word teruah I mentioned is made up of 5 Hebrew letters, and in the middle of the letter is in the middle of the word, is the letter vav. Vav represents a hook. It represents man. It represents the crown of creation. So, because God has placed His breath in us, because Yom Teruah speaks of the day of breathing, who breathes? It is man. It is Vav. It is the hook that breathes, and the hook, the man, connects heaven and earth. So the very fact that God or Adonai placed Himself into man, man must now affect the earth. Man must now move and breathe, exhaling the essence of the covenant-keeping God, exhaling the essence who God is into earth's atmosphere. Are you doing this, friends? That is why we need to observe Yom Teruah, because it reminds us of who we are. It reminds us of where we are coming from and what we need to do as Adonai continues to restore our soul. Blessings. Shalom.